Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new as well. Thank you so much for being here and joining me for today's video. So I have something a little bit different for you today. I have just decided that I put out the August monthly Zodiac readings, and it just took a lot of time and energy. So as this is a new channel, I'm just sort of finding my feet with everything, and so I've been finding some of doing some of the readings quite energy draining. It's not a bad thing. I absolutely love doing them, and that's the reason I started this channel. So I want to continue doing them. I'm looking at doing some different layouts and different styles of readings. I'm just trying some different things, so please bear with me. Thank you already for so much support from everybody, for your comments and for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. This is not a natural thing for me. I'm not really a big technology fan. I'm not really into social media stuff. So this is a little bit out of my comfort zone, doing a YouTube channel, but as always, as I'm sure many of you have experienced before, I had a tarot reading with my sister a couple of years ago, and it was sort of something similar was mentioned, that I may be eventually doing something like this, which of course at the time I was like, no way, that's not my kind of thing at all. So I didn't think anything of it, didn't look into it. And then obviously a year or so went by, and then I've just been getting lots of different guidance, lots of different signs, and things that I couldn't ignore from the universe any longer. So obviously it was time for me to pay attention to what the messages were, and it kind of led me to this point of setting up the Charmed Cauldron, my YouTube channel, something I've never done before. So I really do appreciate the community that's coming together here, with all the different people that have made comments and enjoyed the videos. It really means so much to me to have that support and that encouragement, so that I can continue to keep making these videos, because it's all about the charms. And so after all of that rambling, what I wanted to do for you today, just because I haven't been doing readings recently, but I wanted to stay in touch and to keep working on videos for you and bringing you new content. So I decided today that we would just take a closer look at my charms and have a little look at the collection that I've created. So I'm going to officially introduce myself. My name's Martina, and I'm from the UK. I've never done a proper introduction before, so I have been reading tarot for about 20 years on and off, just for personal reasons, not professionally or anything. It just was an interest of mine, but I never really completely connected with it. I really enjoy the messages. I love getting tarot readings. My sister is very, very good. I have two sisters. My younger sister is very good with tarot, and my older sister is very, very interested in candle magic and working with spells as well, so lots of different spells. She's very good at doing things like that. So everybody has their different thing. I've always been really interested in working with crystals, and I really looked into working with tarot for a long time. It just wasn't something that I ever completely connected with. I really do enjoy using oracle cards, because they're just, for me, just a very, very simple way of clarifying other messages. So it's a good addition to add on to a reading. So I love using things like that. And aesthetically, I love all the different decks that you can get in tarot and oracle, all the artwork and all the messages that they bring. I absolutely love it. So although I have been doing personal readings for myself and my family with tarot and oracles, oracle decks and things, it just wasn't something that I ever really felt that I could do for other people so much as a profession or anything like that. So it was just an interest really for a very, very long time, like I said, for about 20 years. And then about a year ago maybe, I stumbled across the magic of charms. So I had no idea. I knew I have a basic understanding of divination and the history of divination with sort of bone casting and things like that. So I've never really looked into using runes or anything like that, but there was just something about using charms that caught my eye. I happened to see a YouTube video just popped up while I was scrolling through some different tarot readings and things, and I think it was Intuitive Rene. I'll try and remember to leave her information down in the description, because it was just a video that she had done, and just where she'd used charms. I think she usually reads tarot, and she had just done charms as an additional video for everyone, and my mind was literally blown. It was such a good reading, and I enjoyed it so much. I loved all of her charms, and she's such a lovely lady. She's so calm, and I've got lovely messages, and she's just a really nice presence on YouTube. So I've enjoyed watching many of her videos, but it was her charm reading that got my attention, and I just thought, oh my goodness, like that. I love collecting lots of different little bits and pieces, buttons and beads and things like that. So finally I thought, oh my goodness, there's a reason that I can actually collect these things and use them. So yeah, I just started looking into it and studying it a little bit more, and then I started to build up my collection. And the thing that you'll find if you're interested in charm casting or charm readings is that actually you probably have a lot around you already. So I didn't really know where to start, and I just naturally started researching and looking at other YouTube channels and different people that use charms, and there aren't as many as I was expecting there to be. There are some really great channels. Again, I'll try and remember to link some of my favorite YouTubers that I've been watching, where I've learned a lot about how to use charms, and yeah, I just started looking around, and actually you'd be surprised at how much you already have. I definitely had quite a lot of these charms already, so I'm going to tip them out, and we can take a closer look at just my collection. Really, this is always growing, and I'm always wanting to build on it. There's always room for more charms. So yeah, I'm going to zoom in and we'll have a closer look. Obviously many of you have seen my readings before, so you'll recognize a lot of these that we do see quite often. Some things turn up, and not just because they're chunky either. Some of them are bigger than others, but some of them, even the smaller ones, we do see quite regularly. It's not really about the size of the charm. I find that some of them just show up just because they've got a really important message for us, so they come out quite regularly. But I'll tip them all out, and then we'll just take a closer look here for you. Okay, so hopefully you can see everything a little bit more clearly here. I'm sorry about the lighting today. I haven't set up my usual light, and we're right by the window, so I'm sorry if there's a little bit of glare, sorry. But hopefully you can still see everything quite clearly. So yeah, so here is my charm collection. Sorry I've rambled on so much already. I didn't really know where I was going with this video, but I just really wanted to do something a bit different, and I thought it was time that I introduced myself properly, and I introduced my charms in a little bit more detail. So hopefully this is just a short video, a little introduction into the kind of tools that I'm working with. So here we are. Many of you will recognize a lot of the symbols. So we see quite often things like the dog and the tower. They're quite large ones. So when I started looking around the house, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, like actually I have quite a lot of things, it was really just things from old jewelry. So I don't know if I can find some of the beads. So I have this I use to represent a crystal ball, which is to me representative of clarity and spiritual guidance. So that was from a piece of jewelry that I had, I think a necklace or a brooch, and then I just had buttons and beads. So I've got lots of buttons in here. This is my pearly button, which for me is a symbol of pearls of wisdom, so gaining knowledge. And then the next thing I did after I'd found a collection of all sorts of things, I was never in the Girl Guides. I was in the brownies shortly, but I was never in the Girl Guides, but for some reason I had a Girl Guide badge. So I used that as well, which is representative of doing good deeds and making right choices and work in the community. Again, this is the bumblebee, which was just a pin that I had, and the back broke off, but I really loved the symbol of the bee, so I kept that, and then that's come in really handy. I do double up on some things, so I did have two bees. I do have two bees in my collection, and do you know what, I don't mind repeating my charms, because I just think that's just, the universe is repeating things for us all the time. So we see repetitive numbers, we might hear songs over and over again, and these are just repetitive messages from the universe, I think, to try and get our attention. And so I actually don't mind when I've doubled up on some charms, because if they both show up in a reading, to me that actually is symbolic of the universe trying to sort of really get your attention and really push the message forward that this is something that you really need to pay attention to. So I actually don't mind doubling up on quite a few of my charms. Another thing I had a lot of as well were I have different buttons. So I had the idea of using just different coloured buttons. It's so hard to find where they all are now. I thought it would be easier by spreading them all out. So maybe you'll see it from where you are, but I have a green button and an amber button in here as well. Okay, actually I've just taken a moment to find the others. So as I was saying, I just had the idea because I had just different coloured buttons, and I just had the idea that it would be quite useful in a reading to have a button that literally just represents stop, or pause and take a moment, and green for go. So they come in quite handy, because when they show up against other symbols, next to other symbols, that gives me a clearer understanding of that message, that perhaps it's time to, with the green button, it's time to go ahead and get started on something, or for the stop button, it might just be that there's something repeating and there's a message that is just reminding you to just kind of stop and take a moment. So it depends on which charm they come up with, but they're really handy to have, and it's just simply different coloured buttons, and it really does just means different. It just helps me understand the reading a little bit better. Sorry. Anyway, rambling, sorry. Also, yeah, I also have repetitive hearts as well. So I have several different hearts here of different colours. So again, I do have lots of heart symbols, but I don't mind repeating it, because they do all mean something very, very different. If I can find them. Yeah, I think I found them all. So yes, as I was saying, I do have lots and lots of heart symbols in my charm collection, but to me they all represent something completely different. So the clear heart here was just off of a necklace that I had, and that's representative of a pure heart, and honesty, being honest and moving forward with a pure heart. The pink heart is representative of self-love. The blue heart is representative of communication from the heart, so speaking your truth and communicating clearly from your heart. The red button heart is representative of romantic love, and the green heart here is representative of comparison, so it's about envy and jealousy and not comparing yourself to others. So although it's the same symbol, I just read them all differently, purely just because of the colors that they are, and they all represent something different for me. So again, they were just things that I had lying around. And then some of the more different charms that I didn't have, and I did purchase some from eBay. So I think this was from a Doll's House collection. So that's a little telephone, so that's literally representative of news coming in or communication. So I love that little old-fashioned telephone there. Again, my son found this for me this spring, which I love. So he found that for me. He's got his own little charm collection. He loved helping me out and finding charms as well. I have that just to represent literally springing forward, springing into action and movement forward. So that's a really handy one to have. And then for the things that I didn't have, I had lots of ideas of things that I wanted to add, but I couldn't necessarily find what I wanted. In comes my mother, bless her. Oh, she loves making things. She makes fairy houses. And she makes little things to go around fairy houses. So I called upon my mum to see if she could. I gave her a long list of things for her to make, bless her, and she made all of these things here. So the tower, the lighthouse tower, which is very similar. I try and read it very similar to well, it's coming apart a little bit. Sorry, Mum. Gets bashed about a little bit in all the other charms. But yeah, the tower is representative of, it can be caution because it's the lighthouse. So it can be a bit of a cautionary warning, but also it's representative of things sort of coming down and being built back up again. So that's a really great one. And I wasn't sure how it would work because it was so much bigger than the others. But actually, when I'm mixing them, it does fall away. When it's not needed, it will just fall to the side. And then I don't always pick it up, so it doesn't come out in every reading. So that's a great one to have. And then the toadstool was from my mum as well. And then she did me some flowers with the daisy for new beginnings, and the sunflower for optimism and happiness. So yeah, and she did me my fairy door, which I love. So the door is always representative of opening new doors and new beginnings and opportunities, or closing the door on old experiences or past experiences. So that's great. And also turning over a new leaf. That was from my mum. So thank you, Mum. She did a great job in just filling in some of the blanks for me. So I was able to build up my collection, and I can add to it. Oh, the pumpkin here as well. That's one of my absolute favorites. That was from my mum, and I love it. So those all have, those all have a really significant meaning to me because they came from my mum. And the watering can here, which I love. So that's about nurturing ideas and nurturing new experiences and taking care of things and letting it grow. So yes, there's lots and lots of room for things still to come. I will be adding to it continuously. In fact, I've just done an order recently. There's a brilliant Etsy shop that I use in the UK. I think it's called Kitsch Panda. I'm not sorry, I can't remember. I'm going to have to put the description down below, but it's a shop on Etsy from the UK, and I've had some brilliant charms from there. So you just get these little bags and you have no idea what's going to be in it, and it's such an exciting surprise. I love it so much. It's like Christmas every time. You never know what you're going to get, and I think I just kind of stumbled across it, and some of it I haven't used all of the things, but when you look through it and it was things like this. I got my crescent moon, so that can be used for waxing or waning, which have two different meanings. And it just had all sorts of quirky things in it. So I have my chickens, which is soulmate love, or it's about having balance in healthy relationships. And it just had all of these really super cool sort of kitsch kind of little charms and beads, and I absolutely love it. And they're £1.50 a bag, and you just get a whole eclectic mix of different charms and beads and things like that. So it's a really great shop. I've been back there again recently, and I'm going to put that into another video where I will open up that parcel and we'll have a look together at what charms I got from my new order. So That's great. So a lot of my charms actually did come from that shop on Etsy. So my high for communication, and my cherries for friendship. So all sorts of different beads, and my love, my sparkly love symbol. So I got all of these great things from Etsy. As I said, also from eBay as well. And then my mum, bless her, managed to fill in the blanks. We also have the nest eggs, that's from my mum as well. And so that's representative of financial stability and building up your nest eggs, and your savings and things. So yeah, there's lots of symbols we don't always see. So I have some smaller ones. So the dragonfly, and that was off of a brooch that I had, and I love it. And it's tiny, but it has come out once or twice before. So this is about evolving and growing, and yeah, it's representative of change, self-evolution and change. So that's a great one to come out. So it's really special when it does appear, because it doesn't show up very, very often. And then my little green man, who I love, is representative of the unknown or something out of this world. That was an eBay purchase. I just randomly found it just as I was scrolling through looking for different charms, and that was great. I was so chuffed with that. So yes, so lots and lots of things that I have here, lots of beads and buttons. I hope you can see it all clearly. One of my favorites, the teapot. Again, I do have 2 of those. I don't know where the other one has gone. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So I have 2 of those, but again, like I said, I don't mind having repeating messages. This means rest and relaxation. So if you see this twice in a reading, it may be in different areas of the board as well. So it will be a reminder about rest and relaxation in different areas of your life. So yeah, I don't mind having double symbols either, so I'm quite happy with that. Some things I just found out in nature. So I think my niece or my nephew, they found this for me on the beach. So the seashell, which I love, and that's representative of creating the perfect environment, and it also can be a symbol of protection as well. And then I found this stone that just reminded me of a symbol of a mountain. So that's about challenges and climbing the mountain, and overcoming your challenges and facing your challenges in life. So they were great ones, just out of being out in nature and just seeing what we can find. So yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much for you, but yeah, I don't know if you can see them all. I won't bore you and go into details of every single one, but I think most of them have come out in readings now. I don't think there are any that haven't shown up. But yeah, we also have the Zodiac charms. I just bought these on eBay as well. Whoops. So they just help me a little bit more easily in the Zodiac readings, because then I can pinpoint where your focus is. So if you are a Sagittarius and then you land up here in your reading, then I know what's going on in your thoughts and feelings and things. So just a really good way of being able to pinpoint the reading a bit more specifically. Yeah, and like I said, oh, there's another heart. That's the locket, and that's about keeping secrets. So it's about not closing your heart off, or not holding on to secrets, or maybe you do need to hold on to secrets. So that's another great one. So yeah, I could talk about this for ages, because I just fell in love with them. I fell in love with charms, and I fell in love with how you can put them together, and they give a different message and a different reading every time, and they give us positivity and hope, and yeah, just really good messages of spiritual guidance. So I absolutely love working with them. I've had so much fun building the collection, and I definitely want to continue. As I said, I'll do another video of some more charms that I got recently off of Etsy. And yeah, I do need to improve it. I do have my letters, so I have all the letters of the alphabet here. As I always say, you know, that really does mean anything for anyone. It can be an initial of a person or a place or an occupation. I go into it always in each reading, but they are tricky to read. They're not very clear, are they? So I actually do want to get better ones. I've seen, again on eBay, I've just seen a pack of beads, and they're black and white, so they should come across a lot clearer on the camera. So if you just bear with me, I am improving it. But I mean, these ones work for now. This is just what I had. And like I said, I just really wanted to build up a collection. As soon as I'd seen that first video, and there was just something about it that just really caught my attention, and I was so excited, and I couldn't wait to get stuck in and do my own readings. So like I said, my son and I, we went around the house and we were looking for all sorts of different things that we could find for charms. He built up his own collection as well, which I love. And we just sat there together and we just practiced with them. And some of them have traditional meanings as well. So some of them are very obvious, like the telephone is a very clear symbol of communication and news and information. And then some of them I just sat with, and I just, you know, this is the symbol of spiritual guidance and light at the end of the tunnel. So sometimes I just use my intuition, and I just sit with them and I meditate with them and just work with them and spend some time with them. And I've just found the more readings I do, that every time a different charm shows up, it kind of clarifies the meaning for me. So it just I get new ideas, or I just get confirmation on what that meaning is for that particular symbol. So I have replaced my rubber band because my other one had been in here for a year and it was getting a little bit stiff and a little bit brittle. So I have a stretchy one now. So yes, the rubber band, which we actually see quite often because it is a reminder of flexibility and stepping out of your comfort zone. And lots of people don't want to hear that. I think because, well, for me, doing this YouTube channel is stepping out of my comfort zone, and it's difficult, and I feel like a lot of us get told that quite often, that you need to just try new things and step out of your comfort zone. And it's frustrating because sometimes we don't know how, and sometimes it's difficult to start something new because it's scary. So I did it with this channel, and as I said, it's an ongoing process. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but I do enjoy it, and it's definitely something new and something different for me. But yeah, I love to see the rubber band, even though I don't think people often want to hear it, but it does show up in quite a lot of readings. So I think it's that's just how we learn and grow, is just continually to push our boundaries, and just continuing to step out of our comfort zone and try new things, and yeah, just to keep pushing forward and learning and growing always. So I think is a good one. So yeah, I mean, as I said, I could go into, I've got so many in here already. I could go into the meanings of all of them. I don't think there's any that we haven't really had before. Most of them have all shown up. Maybe the grapes. Don't often see the grapes. The grapes are representative of abundance, which I also do have. That's the pumpkin as well. So the pumpkin is more about reaping the rewards for your hard work and effort. So the grapes really could be more about luxury and abundance from unexpected places, whereas the pumpkin for me is more representative of work that you've put into something, a project or something you've been working towards or waiting for, and then you're starting to see the rewards of that with the pumpkin. So they do mean a similar thing, but they are they're representative of the same thing basically. But to me, it's they show that it comes from different places in our lives. So if that makes sense. Sorry. So yes, yeah, and I also raided some board games as well. So you'll probably recognize these from Cluedo. So we have yeah, we have the revolver here as well somewhere. So yeah, I raided Cluedo. We had a spare board, so I just thought, why not? They do represent some very good things. I actually really like the rope comes out quite often connected to other symbols and other charms, and I really like that because the rope is about your hands feeling tied and feeling restricted. So if you were working on a project, so the spanner is representative of work and having the right tools and work still needing to be done. So if you had that with the rope, that would tell me that you're feeling frustrated in this situation, that your hands are feeling tied, that you know perhaps there's work that needs to be done but you haven't got the right tools to do it. So I love that when the charms come together, they create a whole new meaning and a whole new story, and that's just why I absolutely love working with them. And again, I love adding oracle cards as well, and affirmation decks and things, because then that just clarifies the reading for me. So my bones, I just saw my bones. I love this. This came off of a key ring. I don't know where the rest of it is, but it was a whole skeleton and I absolutely loved it. But this is all I have left, and I saved it because I love it so much. Yeah, and then this can represent a couple of different things. So sometimes it is a clear symbol of just health. For some people that can represent health and recovery and gaining stronger health, and for others it can be representative of going back to the bare bones of a project, so going back to the foundation or the basics of something. So yeah, some of the charms do have several different meanings, but like I said, the more I work with them, the more I connect with them and the more I understand their symbolic meanings. So some of them have traditional symbolic meanings. So for example, the dog, traditionally most people would expect the dog to represent loyalty and unconditional love, and that's how I read it. So some of them are very literal, and then some of them, as I said, as I work with them, their meaning just becomes a lot clearer to me. And again, it really does change depending on the connection between the different symbols. I've just spotted, the mermaid, and this is beautiful. This was one of my Etsy purchases, so that was a lovely surprise in my little bag of charms that I purchased, and she's beautiful. I love it. And she's really all about mystery, isn't she? And magic. So I don't actually see that one very often. I can't really recall a reading where we've had the mermaid. So she may be one of the very few that doesn't appear very often or not at all. And it may be because she's small. Like I said, I was initially worried about having different sized symbols, but some of the smaller ones, like the acorns, we do see in the readings. So I do continue to keep mixing and matching, and I don't worry too much about the sizes. I've practiced with others. My mum did make me some other symbols as well, some other charms that just kind of didn't work out. And the more I practiced with them, they kept just appearing all the time in all sorts of different readings, and they would sometimes get stuck and caught on all the other charms, and they just kind of didn't, they were a bit more difficult to work with. So yeah, this is just the collection that I have that over the last year I've been working with, and some I've taken out and some I've added, and like I said, I'm going to continue adding to it. Yeah, I love it. I'm excited to watch it grow. I'm excited to work with them all the time, and yeah, I definitely want to be doing more readings for you. It's just life gets busy. We all know what that's like, and in the UK it's summertime here for us, and so that's usually just a busier time of year for me in general. So balancing home and work and family and everything, it just means that my YouTube channel doesn't get always my main focus. So thank you for bearing with me though, and joining me for the videos when I do manage to get them up. And I do absolutely love doing the readings. It just does take, particularly with the Zodiac readings, it does just take a lot of time and focus. And again, not a bad thing. I do love doing it, but it's just about finding that balance and fitting it in with all the other things that I have going on. So Really great. I still really love doing it, so thank you for bearing with me. I'm just going to zoom out just so I can say goodbye to you all. Okay, so there we have it. I have my pointer as well. This is a hat pin. I think you can see it's like sharp at the. Ooh, can you see that? Yeah, this is my pointer, because this is really handy to have. I just thought it was really decorative and really pretty. So yeah, this is the pointer I use, which just helps me be able to really get into the details of the reading. So it's just handy to have. So yeah, I'm sorry for all the rambling, but yeah, I just really wanted to introduce my charms in a little bit more detail for you, introduce myself a little bit more as well, and just to let you know, I haven't completely forgotten about the readings. It's just that I've taken some time just to get on with some things in my general life at home with family and work. So yes, I love and appreciate all of your support, and I definitely am working on future readings for you all. So I just want to try out some different things and really just find my feet and see what works for this channel. So thank you for bearing with me, and yes, please do join me for another video. I want to come back and show you just a few little charms that I purchased on Etsy, and I have another oracle deck as well that I want to look into that I just ordered. So I will do that in another video. But thank you as always for everybody who has been here before supporting my channel, and anyone who is new, welcome to my channel, and thank you for all your love, light and support. I really appreciate it. I'm having so much fun doing it. So yes, if you would like to subscribe to see more videos coming up in the future, and if you enjoyed this video, then please do click the like button just to let me know that this is the sort of content that you're enjoying, and I'm really thankful for all of the support that everybody's shown me already. Thank you so much for being here, and I will be back with some more videos in the future, and I'm sending love, light and blessings to you all.